Hello, my name is Jasmine Davis, and today I will be sharing my research proposal about parental involvement in the academic success of students with autism. Does parent involvement improve academic performance for students with autism? This is a question I'm really interested in finding out the answer to. Parents of students with autism should invest into their child's academic journey so that they can succeed in the classroom. With the need for additional support and consistency for students with autism, the lack of parental involvement of students with autism academic journey is a problem of concern. In my experience as a special education instructional aide in many different classrooms assisting students with autism, I observed that many students did not have a lot of parental involvement in their child's academics. What students are learning at school should be continued at home, as well as the need for continuous communication between the parent and the special education teacher to improve the academic performance of students with autism. I would like to investigate, does parent involvement improve academic performance for students with autism? The purpose of this study is to conduct qualitative data to identify the correlation between parents with high engagement and their child's academic performance compared to parents with low engagement in their child's academic performance. I believe that if we can identify if there is a correlation between parent involvement and the improvement of academic performance for students with autism, then educators and parents can improve the academics of students with autism by identifying the correlation between A, parents with high engagement and their child's higher academic performance, compared to B, parents with low engagement and their child's lower academic performance. I believe parental involvement can improve the academics of students with autism. I also think that there will be a positive correlation between A, parents with high engagement and their child's higher academic performance, compared to a negative correlation between B, parents with low engagement and their child's lower academic performance. Now I'm going to talk about the literature that I have reviewed that has brought me to my hypothesis today. In the past, researchers have investigated various aspects of parental involvement and its relation to students' academic performance. Specifically, there was a lot of research done on general education students, on the parental involvement that was in relation to student academic outcomes. And history has shown that research has identified that parental involvement has a positive effect on student learning outcomes. Additionally, studies have investigated parental involvement and its relation to student behavioral outcomes, which parents are more likely to participate in their child's academics, reasons why some parents leave education up to the schools, and how to get increased parental involvement. With this history of research on parental involvement, there is still a lack of research on parental involvement and the direct impact of academic performance with students with autism. According to Logsdon, parental involvement in special education students' academics is essential to academic success. With this being said, Bennett conducted a qualitative study that studied parental involvement for children with early intervention programs. This study used surveys to ask questions to mental health professionals to understand how much a parent's involvement impacts the academic achievement and how the lack of parental involvement impacts the child's academic achievement. This study determined that the lack of parental involvement is detrimental to the child's development and progress within an early intervention program. This leads me to my hypothesis that students with parents who have low parental engagement will lead to low academic scores. Epstein identified 6 categories that are shown to positively affect students' academic life. These 6 categories of parental involvement are parenting, communication, involvement at school, involvement in learning at home, involvement in decision making, and collaborating with and in their community. This information was used in the identification of what parental involvement is classified as in this study. Hill and Tyson conducted a meta analysis on various research studies investigating parental involvement in 50 studies that resulted in positive correlation to academic outcomes. Family involvement in a student's education was identified as a strategy to close demographic gaps in achievement. This study supports the hypothesis in this research proposal because it shares evidence of parental involvement having a positive effect on higher academic performance. Now I'm going to tell you about the action plan for this research study. With existing research showing parental involvement does improve academic success and that students with autism thrive with consistency, this research proposal proposes a solution to improving the academics of students with autism. Does parental involvement improve the academics of students with autism? Well, this study will collect qualitative data in the form of natural observation and determine what is the relationship between variable A, parents with high levels of parental involvement, and the student's higher level of academic performance, and variable B, low parental involvement, and the student's lower academic performance. The goal of this study is to collect data on how much parental involvement the participating students have over a 6-month period and what the student's academic standing is at the end of the 6-month period. The first step of the action research would be to track how parents are engaging with the student in relation to their school life and the engagement with the teacher. The level of engagement would be categorized as level 1, which is little to no parental involvement, or level 2, which is high parental involvement. The low level or high level of parental engagement will be compared to the level of the student's academic performance. For this study, parental involvement is any communication between the teacher and parent about the student. This includes any time the teacher would follow up with the parent for behavioral problems, praise, and academics. Parental involvement in the study is also classified as any parent participating in the class, such as field trips, class visits, checking student backpack for notifications, and returning the paperwork back to school on time. It also includes parents checking their students' backpack to look at their schoolwork that was sent home, parents discussing following through with a IEP goal at home, and asking questions. This data will be collected by naturally observing the data collection instrument. The type of data that will be collected is qualitative data in the form of natural observation. The participants will be a group of 15 parents of students with autism and 15 high school students with autism. I will collect data over a 6-month period. During this 6-month period, data will be collected on the academic performance in a specific IEP goal and will be compared to the level of parental involvement. Each time the parent participates, it will be scored as 1 point. Parents with 18 points or more at the 6-month period will be categorized as level 2 high parental involvement. Parents who score 17 points or less over the 16-month period will be categorized as level 1 low parental involvement. The overall 6-month period score will be the data that is compared to the academic performance category. The next step of this action plan is for the teacher to choose the particular IEP goal that the student has been working on for at least 4 months or more. The teacher and student will work on this IEP goal as normal, and at the end of the 6-month period, data will be collected on the academic performance in that IEP goal. Student performance will be categorized as the following 3 categories: below average academic performance, average academic performance, and above academic performance. The data analysis instrument that will be used for this study will be Microsoft Excel. The data will be interpreted using a scatter plot correlation graph. The data will analyze each parent and their engagement and the student and their academic performance. The data analysis will prove whether parental involvement improves academic performance for students with autism and if there is a correlation between parents with higher levels of parental involvement and higher academic performance compared to parents with low parental involvement and students with lower academic performance. Research has shown that parental involvement in special education students is crucial to their academic achievement, and the lack of parental involvement is detrimental to students' academic success. With multiple sources showing that parent involvement results in positive academic outcomes, the anticipated results of this proposed research study are predicted to show that the students with high parental involvement will have greater academic outcomes than the students with low parental involvement. By proving that high parental involvement of students with autism leads to higher academic success, future research can be conducted to investigate how to get greater parental involvement for students with autism and identify strategies for special education teachers to get parents involved in the classes to improve teacher support, student support, and improve academic performance for students with autism. It is important that every student, intellectual disability or not, has effective research-based strategies and the support they need to have the highest academic achievement possible. Thank you for listening to my research proposal.